Now, one garden you must take time out to visit if you're here in Kanazawa is the Nomura House. Now, this is the grounds of an ancient samurai warrior's homes, and the garden here is absolutely stunning. In fact, in 2003, it was voted the third best garden in all of Japan for a very good reason. Believe me, this is just mind-blowing stuff. You'll love it. Now, speaking of gardens you're going to love, let me take you to the next one. It is on a bit of a grander scale, but it's so impressive. Welcome to Kenroku Gardens, a formal Japanese garden that dates back to the 16th century and is today considered amongst the country's top 3 gardens. Kenroku means to combine 6 features: vastness, solemnity, careful arrangement, venerability, coolness and a scenic charm. Well, in my humble opinion, this amazing design easily achieves all of that. Now, the true art of the Japanese master gardener is to recreate a natural setting from an artificial environment. Now, a few hundred years ago, this lake didn't exist here. It's been built. And behind me, take a look at this beautiful pine tree. Now, if you were to walk through the rainforest of Japan, you would find pines sprawling like this over lakes, creeks and rivers. But here, well, this was planted by the 13th Lord Maeda over 150 years ago, and it's been carefully trained out to create this effect. It is just spectacular. A stroll through these carefully sculptured gardens reveal little details and treasures around every turn. Bridges, waterfalls, pagodas and the original tea houses that still stand today. Now, one thing that you must experience whilst you're in Japan is the traditional Japanese tea ceremony. It's something you can do here in the gardens, and just behind me is a classical ancient Japanese tea house. Now, this would be where 10 to 12 senior people in the community would come together to discuss village business. This is a very formal ceremony, and it's an art that takes years to master. The effort and painstaking care in creating the tea from scratch is something to be admired and respected by the recipient. So be mindful of the correct etiquette before taking part. This is no ordinary dunking of the tea bag into a mug of hot water. A ceremony like this is not complete without a moment's quiet contemplation on the balcony of the tea house. These gardens can certainly be a pacifier in the middle of a busy working week. The floral highlight for me, well, the bonsai azaleas are certainly up there, but the groves of irises along the waterways are an absolute delight. Now, this is truly one of the most beautiful gardens I've ever been in. It is absolutely stunning to walk through, but it's not a garden for just one time of the year. It's a garden for all seasons. So there are all these beautiful deciduous trees, and autumn time, well, it'll be just dazzling. But come springtime, well, these giant ancient cherry trees around the outside of me, they would be at their peak, smothered in flowers, and it would be mind-blowing. Nearby is one of Kanazawa's other great attractions, the walls of the famous Kanazawa Castle. These iconic turrets, walls and majestic gateways still stand as a monument to the city's shogunate past, and behind them, some of the foundations of the original buildings still remain. Now, I've got to tell you that Kanazawa is an absolutely beautiful part of Japan. It's not on the major tourist routes at the moment, but it's well worth the visit. It's home to a unique part of the country's culture and also history. Now, when you're here, don't miss out on the Kanazawa Castle and Kenroku Gardens. They are just stunning. This place is a great place to visit.
Kyoto Uzumasa Aigamura, better known to tourists as Toei Movie Land, is more than a theme park. It's actually a living, working film studio, and a busy one at that, with over 200 TV period dramas filmed here every year. Here are some of the actors giving us a demo of how a couple of scenes are put together blow by blow. Then they acted out the sequence for us at full speed. One part of Japanese tradition you may be familiar with is the way of the samurai. And when you're staying in Kyoto, you can experience this firsthand. Not in the temples, restaurants or karaoke bars, but right here at the Uzumasa Movie Village. First step, got to get the gear on, including the makeup and a lovely wig. First, my wig was tried on for size before an adhesive was applied to keep it on my noggin. You don't want your hairpiece flying off in the middle of a fight scene. No way. Imagine the embarrassment. Then a liberal helping of makeup was applied to transform me into a rogue samurai warrior. All I needed now was a costume that would truly reflect my bad boy reputation. This black number said it all, and the finishing touch, the eye patch. I was well bad. Well, I've got all the gear on, but I've got no idea what I'm doing. So Masaki here, who's an expert in samurai acting and has been doing it for 27 years, is going to show me a few moves. And you may know one of his films, The Last Samurai. So I think he knows what he's doing. Masaki, let's go. Yeah! Sure!
Good, very good. Next, fight. Yeah! Yeah, cross eye. Oh my God.
Well, Masaki proved to be an effective teacher because eventually Nige the Nasty prevailed, and to the victor, the spoils.
Anyway, you should have seen the fear in his eyes. I've got my sword out, I've got it up here, right? You know, I got him. And then at the end of the fight, like that, really got in there. It was fantastic. You should see him now.
Kyoto is a beautiful city by day, but at night the entertainment quarter, Gion, comes to life. When we come back, we take a look at Gion after dark. Travel to Japan with Japan Airlines and JelPack. The 12-day off-the-beaten-track package includes 10 nights accommodation, breakfast and the 7-day Japan Rail Pass. Now, all of today's travel packages include a Japan Airlines economy class return airfare to Japan, all airport transfers and are valid for travel before the 30th of June 2009. You can find out more at www.jelpack.com.au and www.jnto.org.au.